Hello again. We're returning to Cobalt, and this time we're going to try to get some more of the weeks done. Oh, hello, Mr. Blue. Ready to help with an experiment? Indeed, I am. Excellent. Let me grab the equipment and safety gear, and we can be started. And I believe we have created an interesting new toy to play with in combat. Better still, it hasn't blown up in our faces yet. Yet? Don't worry about it. In any case, I couldn't have done this without you, Mr. Blue. Feel free to take our newest creation. Hopefully you'll be able to use it well the next time you're in a fight. Wow. Thanks, Professor. Your dust knowledge has increased by 1. Don't mention it. Now you can get going. I'll clean up before I head out of the classroom. Understood. Actually, I could use your assistance in the near future, Mr. Blue. Oh? You see, I recently came up with some more ideas for dust experiments that sound rather spectacular. But the trouble is, they're going to take some time to prepare, which means I can't do them unless they're on the weekends. Because Glenda has been trying to get me to be more active as a teacher. Are these types of experiments that require another person to help? Exactly! What the hell? If I were to find some free time to drop in, would you like me to come in and help? I would indeed, Mr. Blue. Thank you for the offer, and I promise we won't blow a hole in the wall this time around. I've heard that before, and I think Professor Goodwitch has too. Anytime you want to come to help, just knock on the classroom door. I should be there. If I'm not, and I'm about, I think I can give you some extra credit for your assistance. That's a bonus. Now then, get going. For real this time. I think I've held you up long enough. I'll see you around, I guess, whatever that turns out to be. Thanks again for your assistance, Mr. Blue. Happy to help, Professor. March 8th, Friday, day 33. Another week of class is done. At least there aren't any exams for us to go through this time, just like those readings that Oobleck wanted to get done by the end of the week. And since it's the end of the week, I think I might be good just to kick back and relax, and since Blaze is no longer grounded, we can go all out and spend some time as a team. Hey guys, I was wondering if... Hold on 1 second. Dreadfully sorry about that. I thought I heard something and I needed to investigate. Hey guys, I was wondering if we should all go do something fun together now that classes are over, celebrate this weekend together. Fun? Yeah, like the arcade or try to see a movie or something, Teal. You've been throwing yourself into training and studying virtually all the time, and I've been never seen you take a break. I don't want you to burn yourself out or something. I see. Sorry, I think I'll pass. Really? I just thought, I appreciate the offer, but I'm not here to have fun. I'm here to train, to make myself stronger, so I can defend those I care about. Anything else is a distraction. You should still take Blaze, though. She definitely like a night out with you. I'm worried about him. He hasn't stopped pushing himself since he got here, and he'll end up running himself into the ground at this point. I haven't had much luck getting him to do anything fun either. I tried to get him to go with me out to lunch the other day, but he opted to stay and study for Port's exam next week. I mean, to be fair, he is one of the worst teachers, so yeah. I appreciate the hard work he does, but I don't think it's terribly healthy to have that mindset all the time. I agree. But I might have an idea. What is it? We need to talk with someone first. Someone who's like Teal. Where are we going to find another tall guy who wears a lot of black and is not exactly like him, you dolt, but someone who's quiet, like Ren. Ren? You think he might know something we don't? I doubt it. However, he's the only person I can think of that reminds me of Teal. It's a long shot, but Ren's the most relaxed guy we know. I'd be willing to bet he could help us think of something that Teal might try. Good point. If either of you can come find me when you want to try to speak to him, I'm sure we could figure something out together. Sounds like a plan. What should I do here? Talk to Lilac about Ren. So Lilac said to come find her when we were ready to talk to Ren. Hey Lilac, are you free? Yes. I'm not really doing anything at the moment. I assume this is about talking with Ren. No time like the present. Agreed. I'm right behind you. Pyrrha! Hello again. What can I do for you two? Is Ren around? We need to talk to him. He is. He's just been on the balcony meditating. 1 second. Hello? This wouldn't happen to be something about something Nora did, would it? I'm reasonably sure that's a no, although, can you let her know that I accepted her unorthodox apology for sending me crashing into the wall? It is so weird how sometimes some of the events affect others, and then other times they just have no effect. She'll be relieved. So what can I do for you two? We were curious what kind of things you do for fun. That depends. Why? Teal refuses to do anything that isn't training or studying. He pushes himself hard, which is good, but he doesn't take time for himself. Have you considered the fact that he finds studying and training enjoyable as they are? I did, but he doesn't have any real interests that could take his mind off things. Not as far as I've seen. Yes, he's very dedicated, which I appreciate, but I couldn't ask for anything better in that regard, but he's also very tense. Well, if he likes training, how about come up with an activity that could count as training? Like Cobalt. Like a sport. A sport. Oh my god, what an idea. Why didn't I think of that? Probably because neither of us play sports, not regularly at least. No one that might be suited for this. Soccer. Or football, depending on where area run that you came from. Yeah, that'd be perfect. His long legs would give him a decent advantage, but I'd imagine Pyrrha might balance things out with her athletic abilities. Agreed. Shall we talk to Teal about this? Why is she sweating? It's not like she can use her semblance to cheat. No offense, Rand, but you and Teal both are not the most talkative individuals. I think we can take it from here. We'll be your opponents then. Just one request, though. Do not let Nora play on either team. Wait, why? Nora's infinite energy and boundless strength would cause problems, like kicking the ball too hard and popping it, or sending it into low orbit. It's happened before. And you, me, and John versus Cobalt, Lilac, and Teal. I'll sit this out as well. Blaze should be satisfactory as the third member of the team. There's more than a few decently sized patches of grass around the courtyard. We could use that as a field. That would work quite well. Now all we need to do is convince Teal. Good luck to you with that. We might need it. Thanks. I'll bring it up to him the next time I see him. Thanks you for this. I'll mention it. Good luck. Saturday. March 9th, Saturday, day 34. Okay, I think I only have 2 events I can choose from, but I'm going to check to make sure. Let's do Teal's event. Oh, I guess I forgot something. All right. Well, let's go do Professor Peach. Well, Professor Peach did ask for my help with some lengthy experiments, so helping her out should take up a good part of the day. I better grab my desk book, though, in case I need to refer to it, as well as some extra safety gear. Those experiments have a tendency to blow up on us. No, Amy, you can't have Peter go out into the Emerald Forest and bring back a Grim to use in dust experiments. But Glinda, we could learn so much. Like, what types of dust are they particularly vulnerable to? Are there any they have a resistance to? And we can't answer those questions without either test subject or having hunters and huntersmen go for trial and error in the field, with sometimes disastrous results. The answer is still no. I'm still going through the paperwork of when he found the boar tusk in the first for the first years to fight. Fine. That being said, I will try to put a word with you with General Ironwood. He may be able to grant you access to a much safer laboratory. Is that a bad time? Oh, Mr. Blue, I wasn't expecting you to come in today. Well, I did say I would if I could. You have good timing though. I was about to get started, although now you're here you can bring out some more of the fun stuff. Do not blow up the school this time. Glenda, relax. I didn't bring nearly enough combustibles to do that this time. Mr. Blue, please keep an eye on Professor Peach. She acts too much like a mad scientist for her own good. Okay? So, I brought more safety gear for us this time. You'll be relieved to hear. We might end up needing it too, because there are several things I want to try and experiment with today. So I see. I'm seeing quite a lot of dust, Professor. Yeah, there is. Don't sneeze while handling it, though, or else we might end up actually causing the roof to cave in. Anyway, oh, let's see if we got everything. Lemons, check. Melons, check. Lavenders, check. Orchids, check. Jasmine, check. Pancake batter. She's not going to have it. Mr. Blue, do you know how to make pancakes? Yes. Oh, good. I've been comparing notes with your sister, and some of your classmates have semblances I wanted to see to put to test. Should I be worried? Okay, I think we got everything we need. We can get started. Pass me those lavenders over there. Got it? I haven't been able to do experiments like this for a while. Not since the end of last year, as a matter of fact. So you haven't been able to do dust experiments for a few months. Oh no! I've been able to do experiments, just not on a big scale like the ones I have planned today. Have you been able to find the time? No, it's Glinda. Kind of. See, I used to do this as often as I could, but Glinda felt that like I was missing out on actually performing my teacher duties. So she's been trying to drag me back into the classroom this year so I could actually teach you guys instead of getting distracted by breaking new ground with dust. It's been challenging to say the least. My mind's constantly coming up with new things to try and test, but I haven't been able to see if they'll work until today. Which is why I'm grateful for you offering to help me out with these experiments, Cobalt. These ideas were driving me crazy from not being able to work on them. Well, I'm glad I was able to scratch that itch. Wait, that may have come out wrong. Just a bit, Mr. Boyfriend. I think you may have distracted some of your classmates from their wrong from their work, judging by how some of them were glaring at you, like Miss Schnee, for example. Help! I need a distraction! Hey, Professor, is that a dust crystal meant for sizzling? Oh no, I left it on the Bunsen burner for too long. We should probably get back to the experiments then, before we do something to make Professor Goodwitch mad at you again. Good thinking! Glinda's wrath is something that even the mighty Grimm tremble before. Mr. Blue, if you could be so kind as to cut up some petals from the jasmine flowers, while I do the same with the chameleon. Sure, I can do that. Throw in a couple of rose petals for good measure. I don't know where they keep coming from, but they've popped up all over the school. Ruby. And I think we made something. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this should help heal you or one of your teammates in case you're injured in a fight. I don't think you will be because of Aura, but still, if you're not mistaken. Well, there aren't exactly like the element melons or the lemon grenades because we can't test them on anything. We're not injured after all. You make a good point. We could send them up to Nurse Bo, and once we're done here, though, she might know the way to safely test them in the medical capacity. I like the way you think, Mr. Blue. Let's do that once we're wrapped up here. But for now, we got more experiments to run. Mr. Blue, get me the vial of gravity dust. Yes, Professor. Now, if we add this with just a smidgen of lightning dust, I should be able to avoid their reaction while I mix the two together. Oh dear. Mr. Blue, stop the case of... Oh, that's going to be something to discuss in a future class. Lightning dust and gravity dust mixed together, even in slight amounts, can cause magnetic effect to occur. Are you okay, Professor? Oh, I'm fine. Just a bit frazzled. But we managed to not blow up the school. Fine is an understatement. She always seems to look beautiful, but now is warm in here. It doesn't look like the crystals we made survived, though. Damn. We'll have to remake them. Sorry, Professor. Still, I think we got plenty of time to redo those and the other experiments. We should probably look around to see if anything else blew up before we do another experiment. It feels really hot in here for some reason. Did we accidentally burn a fire crystal or something? I think that's just you. Oh no. I think that's just you that's hot, Professor. Crap. I said that out loud. What is wrong with me today? That was very cheesy, Mr. Blue. Cheeky, too. I'm sorry. I'm just feeling weird all of a sudden. Don't be. I'm not. What? Although I am curious, is this something that popped into your head? Or have you always thought that? This is... How do I answer that? Lie and say no, or... Damn it! Yeah. What? Yes, I have. It was something I noticed pretty much almost immediately that our dust teacher happens to be really hot. Flatterer, but should you really be saying these things to me? What would your girlfriend say? I mean, we did agree to be an open relationship on the night of our anniversary. She almost definitely agreed with me about you. Really? Is that so? Well, I'm certainly glad about that. It'd be a shame to not be able to accept compliments from such a good-looking student, Mr. Colbolt. And again, what? I can't help but wonder, though, what brought on that change? Probably the stupid experiments. And would it have something to do with why Miss Schnee and Miss Silver were looking like they wanted to vaporize you in one of my classes? During one of the Mondays? Yes, I think it's so. Then it was probably due to the noise levels Blaze and I might have gotten wild that night. She must have a really good evening then. Makes a woman kind of curious, as a matter of fact. Hmm? I didn't get an answer, though. Why the relationship change? Well, Blaze felt that we both had a lot of love to give, enough to share it around, while also keeping each other as primaries. So that means we can probably explore relationships with other people, or as Mina describes it, Sexy fun time. Yep, definitely curious now. Maybe a little more than curious, if you guess what I mean. Did did that just mean what I think it meant? Whoa, it really feels hot in here. You don't mind if I open up the lab coat, do you? I definitely think you like what you. Uh, mm, what? I'd like to point out this is one event I have never done. So, woo! That was amazing. I have no idea where it came over us, though. I have some theories. I think those dust crystals we made might have had aphrodisiacs instead of healing crystals. Most of the flowers we used can be applied for both purposes. So we created and tested a sex bomb. It would appear so. I wouldn't recommend trying that in combat, though. No kidding! So now what do we do? What do you mean? Well, I don't think we can just ignore this and pretend it never happened. It would be pretty niggling away at the back of my mind. And that would be very distracting during dust class. Oh, good lord. Yes, you may have a point. Your grades will probably suffer if we just didn't talk about it. So, what do we do? Was this a one-off? Or are we going to do this again? Do you want to do this again? At the risk of sounding like a hormonal teenager riding off a high of being very intimate with his amazing and beautiful and hot teacher. Yes, yes, I do. Then let's. You already said that you and Blaze make your relationship more open. So so we could keep doing this for as long as we want to. Consider it personal tutoring and not me, either in my room or here after classes. But I do seriously want you to continued help with actual dust experiments, though. I don't want us to get distracted by each other again. Yeah, we kind of did forget about the other experiments. Sorry. You're forgiven. This time. You want to go again? Heck yes! Thank you again for your help today, Cobalt. Even if we didn't get anything done. Well, we still had those after class dust experiments, Professor. We can hopefully pick up where we left off during those. That is true. Now get going. I can clean up what's left of our experiments here. And I'm sure your team is worried about you having disappeared for a whole day. Probably. And you can call me a Amita outside of a professional environment, or even Ami. I'll keep that in mind, Ami. But first, oh, good lord. This can only end one way. Oh, hey, Kobo. Where have you been? Lilac and Teal already went to the mess hall to get dinner, helping Amanita with her dust experiments. Amanita, you say? Whoops. Pull up a chair, Blaze. I've got a story for you. And you alone. I also never did the Nora's event, so that was my first time experiencing the Nora. But like the Teal, Lilac, and Ruby and Weiss, I've done before. We're now friends. March 10th, Sunday, day 35. Is this still week 5 or week 6? I honestly can't remember. I'm glad we were able to get down here for breakfast before too many people showed up. It means that we've got the full selection of pancakes on offer. Yes, I know what you mean, Blaze. I think these are the first pancakes I've had since I've actually came to Beacon. I think Horatio's just three if somebody gets to eat them before the pancake. Again! It's like some events do affect the story in some way, like they get acknowledged, and others, they're like, nah, it's fine. Let's just just make this scene even funnier out of context. Probably, yeah. Blaze wanting to get up early on a weekend is very rare. Usually she wants to stay in bed and snuggle for a few hours. We've established that. But she's right. The cafeteria is almost entirely empty. Horatio. The only other people here are Horatio working hard in the kitchen already, Ray eating on her own on the other side of the hall, Ruby and Velvet talking to each other lapping over coffee. No, don't give Ruby coffee! It almost felt like a date with so few people around. Actually, hey Blaze, after this, would you like to try to take a trip around town? Oh, got an idea for something romantic? Actually, that would work out perfectly. Just the two I wanted to see. Coco, is everything all right? Yes. Although a thought occurred to me. We never did get our shopping trip from the other day. What exactly were we doing that whole day then, if we didn't accomplish anything? Yeah, we kind of did get interrupted. So I couldn't help but overhear you two talking about going into Vale, since I still want to make sure you get that upgrade. And no, I'm not taking no for an answer. I don't know why I'd keep doing that. Why not take this opportunity to actually give you both a visual improvement? Hey, what's wrong with my current style? Nothing, except you look like you're in the uniform at all times. Besides, if we're giving your boyfriend boy toy a makeover, why pass on getting some new clothes for yourself? It would be nice if we could get some new clothes together. I promise you won't regret it. Actually, I already have a couple of ideas in mind to bring out your best features. I don't know. You don't have to if you don't want to, but she makes a good point on me on Tuesday about looking like the part of a huntsman. I figured an upgrade wardrobe might be a good idea. Besides, it's not like I have to give up my current style. I'm just adding some flavor to it. Okay, you've convinced me. Excellent. Meet me at the Bullhead Landing once you two finish up here. Better to get it over with early so you have the rest of the day to yourselves. So, Cobalt, have you given any more thought about what you would do for your outfit? Not really. Between all the stuff that's been happening, it's been a challenging just to keep up with the schoolwork. Port Sclaps is a challenge to keep awake in, and Ublex is just hard to keep up with. Yeah, I know the feeling. And Velvet's told me that if it wasn't for her quick note taking, it probably would be a lot harder for her to keep track. Wait, that reminds me. Why is Velvet in Ublek's first year class? She's a second year. Long story short, she took an elective in her first year, journalism. More specifically, with a retired teacher named Professor Beige. She wanted to get better at both photography and note taking for missions, but that means she had to make up history this year. Wouldn't history be like a mandatory though? Yeah, I guess. Ah, that makes sense. She's very quick at writing things down. Maybe it's like you only have to get so many years or something. Between her note taking speed and her photographic memory and photograph skills, she picked up quite a few handy abilities for both classroom and fieldwork. But back to fashion. Cobalt, you're not a frontline fighter, right? I don't think so. I think Lilac and Teal are the only two with any sort of melee combat experience, and even then, Lilac prefers sniping. Right. And Blaze can fight hand to hand, but prefers staying back as well. So being quick on your feet will be essential to both of you. I would definitely prefer to keep myself light on my feet. Actually, I can think of something. Think I want to get something that I can still wear with my jacket. Hmm? I think I know just the thing. Come with me. You put me in a difficult position, Oz. I realize this, Theodore, but with the vital relax, I didn't say it wouldn't help. I said you put me in a difficult position. You know what happened recently, correct? Involving one of their teammates? Nathaniel Dracona, correct? He was attacked by mole crabs during a training mission in the desert last month. He was killed by mole crabs. He succumbed to his injuries 3 days later after an attack. After the attack, even if he had it, he lost an arm and a leg during the fight. Team Ion is still reeling. I'm sorry for the loss of your student. Team Ion was one of the best. Shade depended on them to enter the vital tournament. Now I'm mainly pending our school on Indigo, though it would have been better if both teams had entered. How are the girls taking it? The three remaining team members of Ion have returned to their families for now. They all requested a leave of absence, which I granted. Very well. I don't expect them to come to Vale, but if you could mention it to them, I would be appreciated. I promise nothing. I'm not going to push them right now, but based on what you've told me about those robberies, it might pique their interest. That is all I ask for, old friend. If there is nothing else, I'll contact them now. Mention the incident in Argus 2 years ago, as well if they ask for a little context. Of course. I'll reach out now. You'll probably hear from me again before the weekend. Theodore out. Do you think they'll actually respond? Honestly, I don't know. But we can certainly hope they will at least consider it. This is, after all, unfinished business for the two of them. For two of them. And what of the third? Should I reach out to him as well? No. We told him that we would respect his wishes on the matter concerning them. For now, we will leave him alone. The remaining three members of Team Ion, presumably they will be enough. Isn't one of them dead though? They just established? Is something the matter? Nothing. Just it is personal matter for him as well. True, but until we know for certain it concerns him as well, we should proceed as discussed. Very well. I'll make preparations to have a dorm room in the exchange building set up in the case they do accept. If you'll excuse me. Stirring chaos. I wonder. I have the worst luck. So, what do you think, Coco? Now you're looking more like a huntsman and huntress, you two. I'm not gonna lie, I had doubts after you dragged us away from that specialized huntsman's shop and into a fancier one. I wanted to get you both clothing that was fashionable as well as functionable. I kind of missed the button up of my old shirt, but this one is very form fitting, so yeah, I noticed that. So did I. Is Coco implying that she was checking out Blaze? No, come on. We could get you back to Beacon. I'm sure your teammates will want to see your new outfits. Nora, Ren, how come we don't see John much anymore? Why does he get home so late? Are they only just now doing? Like I know, his arc spans multiple weeks, but wow, it feels like we've already done his arc, but we've only done half of it. He's become rather scarce since he started fraternizing with the Carden. That's weird. Weren't we just talking to him about how Carden was being a jerk to him earlier in the week, and now they're acting like best buddies? We were. I can't say what changed, though, and we likely won't know unless he talks to us. No, he can't, because we don't see him much anymore. Hey, is that? I would have given anything to see her bouncing on the. And I said Bumblebee, more like Coco's parading us around the school. Ever since we got here, it's like she's trying to gauge everyone's reaction to our new outfits. Damn, those two look good enough to eat. Does this mean I lost the pool? And judging by the looks of their faces, Coco seems incredibly pleased. Why, they look awesome. Well, I suppose their outfits make them look more like students and less like civilians. So in a weird way, it's kind of nice getting these praises and feedback. It makes me feel like like the new attire fits, and Blaze looks like she's beaming as well. Is it safe to come in? Coco? Sure, go ahead. Good, because I've got a surprise for you two. So how do we look? Did we slip into a coma, Teal? Because our teammates seem to have upgraded their wardrobe considerably, and for the better, I might add. Styles do suit the two of you. Aw, you're too kind, the both of you. Coco, thank you, honestly. We really appreciate what you've done for us. Think nothing of it. If anything, you're paying me enough just by looking a bit more professional. You actually don't just look like a scrub from the street, but a real huntsman and huntress. Wow, that one hurt. She's not wrong, though. You actually look like you might know what you're doing. It's amazing what a fresh change of clothes can do for one's ego. So, Lilac, when are we going to get you out of that armor and into something a little more relaxed? Don't even try it. One step at a time, I suppose. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. So, how do you think you feel about going into battle with these? I think I can manage it pretty well. I hate to admit it, but Coco was right about having a bit more range of motion once I put on this outfit. But, personally, I'm looking forward to taking it off. Can you spare me for one day? I would like to get some manner of studying finished. Perhaps later then. I'm holding you to that, lover boy. What the? Good morning, Cobalt. Morning, Amy. I'm guessing it's time to get up. Unfortunately, yes. Would have liked to sleep in, but Glenda would have both our hides if I missed first class. I believe that. You want some breakfast? Please. Well, that was weird. March 11th, Monday, day 36. Lunchtime, finally. Today's classes have left me absolutely famished. Or a class in particular, now that Shadow's got us doing more intense exercises. Looks like Blaze is feeling the hunger pangs as well, if the looks on her face is any indicator. Ready to go to lunch, Blaze? Please. I'm so hungry. I could eat just about anything. Well, the cafeteria is just about Got just about everything, so you won't be spoiled for choice. Plus, if Horatio's cooking, it'll be high quality, too. That's true. Cobalt, Blaze. It's Shadow, and she's carrying a very familiar paper wrapping. Looks like I caught you two just in time. Want to go have lunch together? I got fish and chips delivered from the usual place. You mean, yep, with the flake and the potato cakes? Yep, and the rolls, too. Sorry, Horatio. You can't beat an old family tradition. Yes! Come on, we can eat in my apartment. It'll save you the embarrassment of having a teacher eat for you in the mess hall. Oh, trust me, we're long past that. You have an apartment? Yes, all the teachers have one. Come on, I'll show you the way. No. Oh, she wanted some, didn't she? And here we are. Whoa, you've got a nice office setup here, Shadow. Thanks. All the teachers have a similar setup, which is helpful in case if students decide to approach one of us for help, like the assignment or something. Wait, we can do that? Yes, you can. All the teachers have an open door policy. Why do you think the headmaster in particular has elevators for doors? Because he's a. Point taken. But if you go through that door to the right, you'll see the rest of the apartment, and it's not quite as expansive as your dorm room, and there's no balcony. But it's pretty well stocked for a one-bedroom apartment. Plus, it's a nice private space to just sit back and relax in for a while. Do you know if there's any spare apartments like this anyone? Why would you want to? Oh. I don't think Professor Goodwitch would approve, especially if it's you two. Had to try, mostly for Lilac's sake. Lilacs? You just wanted to lounge around? You did so no one else home? If I didn't hear you complaining at the time, Cobalt, I'm still not hearing any complaints now either. No comment. Anyway, feel free to grab a plate and some cutlery, you two. Those flakes are starting to grow cold, and they won't eat themselves. So, in addition to the usual field trip to collect sap from Forest Forever Falls trees, you want to borrow two teams in order to bring a rare plant to Beacon. Please. It'll be the first time this plant has grown in the forest for years, and I want to be able to study it while it's still relatively young, phase of its life. I'm not sure about this, Ami. We barely know anything about this plant, and what we do know it hasn't exactly proven to be safe to be around. Okay, so maybe the last one tried to kill people with its vines, but in fairness, they were trying to cut it up and take it back for study. Is that not what you are proposing to do? No! I was planning to take care of it, make sure it's properly watered, given access to good sunlight, put in a good amount of soil. Ami, you can't keep a plant like that in your apartment. I know. I was planning to keep it in one of the unused classrooms. You know, like those next to the ones I usually teach in. I see. Glinda. A word? The thing is, you never know what Oz is going to say. While these are the risks involved, I'm inclined to grant her request in this particular instance. The first year students have all passed initiation, and they can provide backup should she find herself in trouble. This is what our team and Magni is going to be doing while everyone else is doing that. And that isn't an option should she attempt to recover the plant in her own time on a solo mission. Considering her usual experiment, she may do just that. So it's a lose-lose no matter what. Fine, I will allow Magni and Cobalt to accompany Amy on her attempt to retrieve the plant, but I will be having them face off against each other in combat class over the next few weeks to ensure that they are properly prepared. I understand. And I suspect that Amari will appreciate Mr. Blue's company as well. Oh, he knows. Wait, what does that mean? Ozpin! Amity, you will be able to borrow Team Magni and Cobalt for your plant retrieval. If possible, please try to have them collect the sap along the way as well. Thanks, Headmaster. You won't regret this. No, I don't believe I will, Glinda, on the other hand. I will tell Mr. Soplar to stop purchasing the premium Mantle brand of hot chocolate. Well, that answers that question. He's just. He has no response. Well, that certainly took care of our hunger. I couldn't eat another bite. Thanks for that, Shadow. Don't mention it. It was good to catch up with my little brother and hear how he and his girlfriend have been adjusting to Beacon. Now the two of you should probably get going. The first years have combat class in 5 minutes. Ah! We're gonna be late! We made it. Just in time. Is this what happened to Ruby and Juniper on their first day? Kind of. Did the two of you seriously do what I think you did? Oh, God. What? No, I don't want to hear it. Just keep me out of it, and don't lose track of time in the future. Is that Professor Peach? Good afternoon, students. Before we begin the lesson today, Professor Peach and I wish to discuss an upcoming field trip to Forever Fall Forest that will be taking place in a couple of weeks' time. Huh? Field trip? Every year, first year students undertake an expedition to the Forever Fall Forest, located just north of Vale, to collect a special red sap that is of interest to researchers, including Professor Peach. It's pretty dangerous for most people due to the Grim, which is why the first years all go to collect the sap, under Glinda's supervision, of course. Once the sap is collected, the first years then bring it back to Beacon, where Professor Peach can study it in greater detail, and also use it in a number of hazardous ways. I once mixed it with fire dust just to see what happened. The results were spectacular and sticky. Quite. Regardless, there's an opportunity for you to go out and experience an example of one of the most unorthodox missions a huntsman or huntress can undertake. As you will discover at the end of the year, huntsmen and huntresses may be called upon for a number of tasks outside of just slaying Grim. Finding missions, missing persons, collecting rare research items, detective work, and even escorting children to school are all missions that have been placed on mission boards in the past, and they will likely continue to appear in the future. And in that last one's case, this field trip will take place in 11 days' time on March 22nd. The next few field trips of class will be spent preparing you for the outing, so you will know what to expect when we go to Forever Fall. I expect each and every one of you to be on your best behavior before and during the trip. Misbehavior will not only have you seen back to Beacon, but will reflect poorly on your grades. With that said, Glinda's eyes in on certain students in particular, like Carden, Nora, or Blaze and I. Can I die now? With that said, we can begin the lesson plan. Miss Xiaolong, Miss Nikos, please step forward. Team Cobalt and Magni, Professor Peach wants to speak with the 8 of you outside, huh? What's this about? Oh, good. You're all here. Hello, students. I've asked to speak to you 8, to the 8 of you specifically, because I have an extra task I'll be needing you to assist me with during the Forever Fall trip. You see, there's this rare plant currently growing deep in the forest that has a number of unique properties that are quite beneficial for huntsmen and huntresses. The flowers have a spur which produces a nectar, which in turn has proven to be quite useful in creating healing items, like a particularly sweet tea. We're going to collect the nectar from this plant. Oh no, Cobalt. We're going to collect the plant itself and bring it back to the beacon. So why do you need 2 teams for this? You see, it may or may not have pensilive vines that have proven to be rather lethal to those who tried to cut it off and study its remain. Aren't those the like Venus flytrap things, or am I thinking of something else? That's partially why we're going to try and bring it back to Beacon alive and unharmed. Partially, I'm also something of a plant lover, Cobalt. I'm planning to keep it at Beacon, make sure it's properly fed and watered, and hopefully get a seed and try to raise one of it for my collection. I see. Now then, do any of you have any questions? Well, I suppose this is more exciting than going to get sap. Oh, Glenda still wants you to collect at least 1 vial of sap while we're going to the plant, Miss Johong. This sounds incredibly annoying. What does? The dangerous vines? No, frankly, I take the vines over group activities any day. Yeah, but maybe you can hang out with Teal while we're at it. Wait, why me? One more word and I might piss the vines off myself. Maybe let's not do that. Focus our efforts on, fighting any grim we come across in the forest. Cobalt is correct. Forever Fall, it's home to many types of grim, including Ursai mages. Is that why Professor Porth was lecturing us on Alpha Grims today? Garland? You okay there? Something about this plant is bothering me. Blackcomb we do to plant tomatoes, pumpkins, lettuce, you name it. We even grow some of the more esoteric stuff. A vine with healing properties sounds right up our alley. To be fair, the professor did say the plant was rare. Incredibly rare. No one knows why, but it only seems to pop up every few decades or so, and it's almost always in the Forever Fall forest. I'd love to see how it manages to reproduce. Plus, there's the bit about defending itself against a would-be attackers. Has anybody actually tried to take the... No, I think the correct way to phrase that is, has anybody succeeded in taking it? Take the plant back home in good condition until now? Well, time to be the first. No matter what, no matter what happens, Professor, if that vine proves too dangerous and pulls anyone in danger, I'm afraid I'll end up using Avalon's beam function on it. Not saying we shouldn't try. I'm just saying you have said worries me a tad. Hopefully it won't come to that, Mr. Pendragon. I would rather not have to wait a few decades to try and study the plant while it's alive. I've already begun collecting the necessary materials. Begin the plant to bring the plant back safely. With any luck, the only thing we'll need are shovels and a very large pot to transport it in. How large are we talking here? Let's put it this way. I may need both Mr. Pendragon and Mr. Brimstone to help in actually moving it, and maybe help from all of you once we actually get the plant in said pot. Does the school not have a grav lift we could borrow? We will need all hands on deck if Grim attack us. I really don't want to try and run through a forest carrying a giant plant that could get annoyed at any moment and attack us all. That is a good point. I'll see if I can talk to Professor Osmond and Glinda about borrowing it. Although the one we have is still being repaired after Professor Fort brought it in that Borbusk on your first day. God damn it, Port! I'll just call my family's company and see if we can borrow one. How do you even get an approval for that stunt? He didn't! Perhaps you can see if they can provide dividing walls in our dorm room. Soundproof walls. Thick soundproof walls. Eep! I can ask Lilac. You may just want to ask for a soundproof room instead. You know, to stuff them when the things get too much. I don't think that helps her in the case where she accidentally perish! Anyway, Professor, you've talked about this plant quite a bit, but never actually told us what it might look like other than vines and it being a flower of some kind. And there are no pictures, even if they are just drawn mock-ups. I'll need to find where I put them before we go. I had some on me before those dust experiments. Oh, God damn it. I did on the weekend. Damn it! I must have forgotten. And when I put them during all the dust experiments? Oh, good lord. Never mind. I don't want to need or know. We were dealing with the aftermath of an explosion. Several explosions, from what you told me. Not now, Blaze! How do you keep any kind of insurance in the school? A wizard did it. Osmond's. If nobody questions this, I'm going to lose it. Sizable donations from multiple sources, and the fear of Glinda Goodwitch. Osmond's magic. Ah, speaking of Glinda, nobody questions that. Speaking of Glinda, though, I should probably let you all head back to class. I'm sure she wants to make sure your combat skills are up to scratch before the field trip. Yes, she definitely will. Let us know if you find those pictures, Professor. I will. Now get going. She doesn't like to be kept waiting. Your overall studies. Mm-mm-mm. Try to find Teal to suggest playing a soccer game. Teal usually likes working out here before bed or in the afternoons. Either way, there's a good chance I'll find him here. Hello, Cobalt. I take it you want to get some training? Indeed, I do. Need a spotter? Sure. Cobalt, I'm sorry if I was rude before. Huh? Back when you asked me and the rest of the team if I wanted to hang out and bail, I know you and Lilac want to help me relax, but I've never been something I was good at. Oh, don't worry about it. Although, I might have an idea about that. Oh? Lilac and I were talking. We know how you think that some kind of fun activity might be a waste of time, but what if we could if you could also sort of train yourself while doing it? Oh, through a sport like soccer. I've never played a sport before. That's okay. It's still a good exercise, and it's a good body condition coordination. And it would be fun. I see. You make a fair point. All right. I suppose it'll be worth a shot. Perfect. Juniper offered to be our opponent. Should be fun. Yes, I think it would be. And then I'll let them know. Hey, it's getting late. we should finish up here and head back. You go on ahead. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, just don't push yourself too hard. March 12th, Tuesday, day 37. And with that, Mr. Isley's aura is now dropped into the red. The pair of you has fought well in this match. Your hard work and training is evidently paying off. But don't believe that you can start slacking off. The Grim will be relentless, and it will be your job as huntsmen to be able to repel them. Understood, Professor? Shh. Yes, it's my loss. Still ain't used to targets moving so erratically. The fact that you can clean cut my vines doesn't help either. I don't think that's the problem specific to me alone. Like, John and Orium have swords. Blake's weapon can be used as one too. Ren has sickle blades. Weiss has a rapier. And Ruby has a giant scythe. Yeah. But only you and Ruby can just cut through in one swipe. Maybe I need to go talk to Peach about creating a strain with something tougher fibers. And that is the battle, students. You may continue to use this time for self-directed spotting until your history class with Dr. Oobleck. Anyway, good fight, Gar. I need to go back to the rest of my team now, but I'll see you around. Hey, Denim Boy. Huh? Is that Coco? It is. What are you doing here? What, are you not happy to see me? After all the effort I went through to get you into something much more fitting of a huntsman in training? Oh no, I'm definitely am. I just wasn't expecting to see you right after our combat class, especially since we're in different year levels. Okay, that's fair. But to answer your question, I was taking notes on your performance. Care to elaborate? See, you look more like a huntsman now, instead of someone just walked out of the discount department store. But looks aren't everything in a fight. You need to be able to fight in your new clothes too. For example, materials need to be sturdy enough to to not just get shredded when a beowulf sinks its claws in you, but flexible enough to not hinder your movement. I guess that makes sense. But based on what I've seen so far, it looks like you don't have anything to worry about. The pair of you will be able to kick butt and look good while doing it. Very good in your girlfriend's case. Wait, what? Is she checking out Blaze again? Kogo, please stop flirting with the first year girls. Alright. Cobalt, Blaze, meets Fox. Are they actually partners? I thought it was Velvet. That, as well as being the love interest of Coco. Oh, so you're the infamous first year lovebirds. Your reputation precedes us. That's what our voices do. Nice to meet you, Fox. Coco said you were her partner. Did she drag you out to the shops to spice up your wardrobe too? As far as I know, you're the only person she's done that to. Well, except maybe Velvet, but usually she's doing it for her. There is a difference. Is there? Well, I'm not drugging her out to be a better huntsman outfit for a start. She's gorgeous enough as it is without my help. Ahem. But no, most of our shopping dates are just that, dates. Something we do mostly for fun. And also because Coco loves fashion, if you haven't guessed it already. It wasn't hard to figure that out. But no, you two were a special case because Denim Boy was bugging the heck out of me with his outfit. Something that needed to be rectified as quickly as possible. With Velvet, I can simply relax and browse stuff for the fun of it, checking out the latest styles, and just spending time with my favorite bun bun. Not to mention all the big malls I have a food court and cinema. Blaze and I would often go to the one closest to home so we could just have dinner and a movie. Exactly. There's always something to do when shopping. As long as Velvet's having a good time, I'm having a good time. Good policy. Mine's pretty much the same, just as long as you remember to have fun with yourself. Way ahead of you in that regard, Denim Boy. Can you stop calling me that? Nope! Coco? Oh, speaking of Velvet, I think I see her now with Yatso. Yatso? Come on, I'll introduce you. Velvet, and... Okay, this is the fourth student I met who's 6 feet over 5. Is Osman actively recruiting mountains? No, because he didn't recruit Hazel. You must be Yatso, Coco said. Yash, that's correct. Yasuhune Dachi. I'm Velvet's partner. Kind of figured that out since Coco already introduced Fox as her partner. I'm Cobalt Blue. Nice to meet you. You too. Hello, Denim Boy. Now that you met the whole of Team Caffeine, whatever, and you didn't need to fall on anyone this time. Not again, Velvet! Or Coco. Relax, I'm just teasing the poor first year. I know it wasn't intentional. The circumstances of how we met were just too perfect not to. Surely it's going to get old at some point, Coco. It already is for me. Don't you have classes to go to? Oh, the second year Self Combat class at around this time anyway. Hey, we just got here early because Coco wanted to observe the reactions of your new outfits. Hello, Horatio. We also wanted to check out the first year girls. And she also wanted to check out the first year girls. Hey! Oh, come on. You used to be easily distracted by an attractive woman, and at the start of our first year, as Artemis walks by, Beacon seems to be a constant magnet for attractive people in general. Oh my god, I thought Blaze and I were the only one who thought that. You're still easily distracted by Velvet, Coco, huh? Not my fault, she's completely gorgeous and adorable. Coco! I can still hear you! Crud. Joking aside, she's toned down the checking people out since she's and Velvet started dating, at least from a romantic standpoint. Although, so far, no one's offended my fashion sensibilities as much as your denim outfit did, Denim Boy. Alright, you didn't have to rub it in. Anyway, I think we've kept you here long enough, unless you want to stick around for a few minutes to watch the start of second year combat class. Wait, all the second years are coming here? Yes. Why? May have something to do with the green-haired seductress that's been moving in on Blaze's turf since they got here. My ears are burning with somebody. One must be thinking of me. Speak of the devil, a cobalt blue devil. Nope! Not dealing with Isabella today. Not when everyone else spotting or ready for combat. Anyway, it was nice meeting the four of you. You too? Oh, hey, denim boy, fella, you finally updated your wardrobe. Nice. You're welcome. Hello, Nurse Bow. Mr. Blue, is something wrong? Okay, I have time. Just take a seat over there. Now, I'm going to ask you a set of standard questions while I examine you. Please answer them as honestly as you can. Okay, at first glance, you have the appearance of a physically healthy young man. Are you currently taking any medication or supplements? I'm not sure this counts, but I was recently under the effects of an unusual dust mixture. How unusual? It was essentially an aphrodisiac cocktail. Oh. Oh. Were there any lingering symptoms? you encountered after this incident. I don't believe. I see. Does Professor Peach know the details of what this mixture was? Yes, she does. Intimately. I'll inquire as to what happened in that mixture and see if there's any long-term effects to exposure. Temperature is normal. Now say ah. Good. No sore throat. Are you experiencing any new symptoms or unusual symptoms such as pain? I don't believe so. No. Excellent. I'll just test your reflexes. Now then, yes. I've been keeping it as safe as possibly can. Good. And just so you know, there's plenty of protection available if you need it to resupply. Sounds a little nervous. A little more nervous than I am at the moment. Now I'm the one being told where to get additional protection if I need it. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Now I need you to lift up your shirt so I can check your heartbeat beat in breathing, not for anything else. I know how the checkup works, Nurse Bow. Heart's pumping normally. Breath sounds normally. It sounds okay. Skin condition looks normal and incredibly well fit. Huh? Nothing. Okay, you can fix your shirt now. You seem to be in peak health condition, Mr. Blue. Is there anything else you want to discuss or ask me during this visit? I think that's everything, Nurse Bow. Thanks again. You're welcome. If you ever need anything else, or anything's bothering you, please come seek me out. Thanks for meeting me, Miss Archin. You had my attention when you mentioned my sister. Of course I'd come. I haven't seen her in years. Indeed, I've met Cinder on several occasions. I see. First things first, though. I think we're getting ahead of ourselves here. Who are you? Ah, where are my manners? My apologies. My name is Bazan Twin. I'm a businessman from Atlas, presently scouting locations in Vale for possible purchase. I run a small umbrella corporation. I don't trust him. That I'm looking to expand. When I saw you and your resemblance to Cinder, it struck me as unusual, hence why I inquired before. So, what about her? Do you know where she is? Can I contact her? He already established no. That I'm not sure of. I know bits and pieces of what happened to her, and I can tell them to you if you wish. And if we continue to meet like this, perhaps I will have uncovered the truth about her for you. And I have connections to both Mistral and Atlas. Finding her shouldn't be too difficult if she's alive. Still alive? Yes, you see, she was adopted from the orphanage in Mistral, much like yourself. I assume, though, I apologize if I'm overstepping by a woman I knew quite well. Her daughters and her treated Cinder more as hired help, however. I regret to say that they were not the best of conditions. Cinder and I spoke on several occasions over the years, which I frequented their establishment, the Glass Unicorn, which was a massive, rich hotel in the city of Atlas. She was a living soul, lively soul, and I grew quite fond of her company. Her intelligence was stifled by her work, if I'm to be frank. She rarely spoke ill of her adopted family, though I sensed a quite burning resentment toward them, and the daughters, at least, did have a mean streak toward her. She was essentially a slave. Oh. Then a few years ago, the Madam of the Glass Unicorn and her daughters, uh, as well as a well-known huntsman named Rhodes, were found dead in the back room that was presumed to be Cinder's. Cinder herself was nowhere to be found, and the police investigated it was either a homicide with Cinder as the prime suspect or a possible kidnapping, as there appeared to be a struggle. However, there have been sightings of a young woman matching Cinder's description in various locations. Even if the case is now cold, she never stays around it for too long. Until now, I have had a need to try and locate her. I thought you said you were fond of her. Why didn't you try to find her? Because despite her treating me well, she was but a child, not even 16, I think. With me in my mid-30s at the time, I think it would have been looked down as socially acceptable for me to do. Looking on for her on her behalf of a family member, on the other hand, I see. So what is it you want? Want, Miss Archin, you misunderstand. Cinder deserves to be reunited with her sister. As I mentioned before I had no reason to search for her, and it would only be trivial matter of calling in favors to locate her, so it would be no cost to me. I would be more than happy to exchange scroll numbers with you. I would provide weekly status reports to you. If I do locate her, I can contact you immediately. You're sure? You really think you could find her? You have a better shot of finding her, I think. I make no promises on success, but I do promise an honest attempt in that. Is that acceptable? Yes, thank you, Mr. Quinn. Please call me Baizan. Now, if there's nothing further to discuss, I will be on my way. I have a few phone calls to make in an hour or so trying to find your sister. Of course. Thank you again. Oh, and if it's not too much trouble, let's keep this arrangement between us, at least until I have something more concrete to report. Past experiences have helped me determine that I work fastest when I work without distractions. And the more people I know, the more people who may tip her off that something is looking for her. Remember, she is still technically a prime suspect in 4 murders. While I have no desire to turn her in, the more people who learn that I'm investigating her whereabouts, the more people who who could eventually tell her that. If she's running, she may go underground. That's probably true, actually. I was looking forward to telling my team about this. Give me time, and you may yet be able to tell them sooner rather than later. Yeah, you're right. Okay, I should get going too before my team begins to wonder where I went off to. We'll be in touch, I promise. Morning, Amy. I'm guessing it's time to get up. Unfortunately, yes. Room for one more? Of course, Blaze. This is still so weird. Welcome back. Are you ready for work? Yes, ma'am. Gather Blaze and Juniper to play with Teal. The weather's perfect for a soccer match today. Should see if Teal and the others are up for it. Hey guys, we should go for that soccer match today if you're all still interested. It would be nice to get out of the dorm for a bit. I want to be playing, but I suppose I could act as referee. Teal and I should be front. Between the four of us, I think we're the fastest. I'm not sure about this. Oh, don't worry. It'll be fun. Your idea of fun is not the same as mine, Blaze. And remember what I said about it being a good exercise, too. That's not it. It's more, I don't know the rules. It's pretty simple. You can't use your hands, head, body, and legs and feet only to move the ball around the field. Each side has a goal set up, and normally it's a net or something. But will have you make do with sticks. If you are trying to get the ball into the goal and pass to the other team's goalie. I see. Since I'm the tallest, would it be best if I'm goalie? No. With your long legs, you can move faster than any of us, which we'll need because Pyrrha will be up front too. You might be the only one to outpace her with your long stride. Plus, Ren knows the game as well, so we'll need any advantage we can get. Okay. No hands. And try to keep Pyrrha in check. Got it. I just heard back from Juniper, and John is playing goalie for their team, so getting the ball past him should be pretty easy. They all agreed not to let Nora play because she might accidentally pop the ball, among other things, or break a window, or our legs. Lilac, let Juniper know we're on our way. We'll meet them at the field. So, you guys are our opponents? Oh, so intense. I see that someone's fired up. I'm pretty sure I haven't seen him this excited in a while. This is him happy? It almost feels familiar, like looking in a mirror. Hey, kick their butts. I'm surprised you didn't tell them to break their legs this time. Oh no, if they did, we then we'd have to no one left to beat. I see. At the risk of showing bias despite my referee position, Cobalt, you better not lose. Perhaps we should buy like a cheerleader uniform. I heard that. All right, let's start. 1, 2, 3. There goes the ball. Teal, Pyrrha, and Ren are headed straight for it. Ren, I'm open. I don't think so. Here. Not so fast. I don't think so. Teal, Pyrrha. Nora! How does she keep doing that? John, look out! Look out! He looks kind of like Damian Wayne in this picture. Goal! And with that, Cobalt wins the match. I'm sorry, John. I couldn't stop him. Yeah, great show, Teal. That was 1 in a million. Impressive power. Perhaps we should have let Nora play after all. Duh, I told you you'd need me. Ow, I think I nosedived into a rock. Oof, sorry, John. I try to avoid those in the future, Raya. That was fun. More than I thought I'd have. I thought that might help. It was both a workout and a fun time, and it brought us closer as a team, too. Indeed. If you want a rematch, I'd be happy to oblige. Next time I'm playing, you're not leaving me out twice. I'd happily take you on. We're now friends with Teal Brimstone. Hey Teal, can you give me a brief rundown of the notes you took in Professor Peach's class? It's a hard time following her when she starts mentioning properties of tree sap when used with dust. Truth be told, I'm not sure about that either, but sure. Huh? Was somebody expecting company? No? Then who's coming to be knocking at our door at this time of night? Peach? Oh, Glinda. Professor Goodwitch. Good evening. I apologize for coming here so late, but I need to speak with you, Mr. Blue. Is Cobalt in trouble? Not at all. Actually, this is in regards to the dust shop robbery he helped thwart not long ago. We received word just an hour ago. Professor put in a call for assistance in trying to help piece together what was going on that day. 2 second-year students from Shade Academy and Vacuole will be arriving tomorrow to help. What? Why would students from Vacuole be coming here? The Vital Festival isn't for a few more months. That's an understatement, considering we're still in March and the tournament's in October. Perish. I know. However, one of the students has a unique semblance that could possibly help the police find out what's going on. That was only the latest in a string of dust robberies all across Vale in less than a few months. Any leads the police can get will be welcome. So what does this have to do with me? We simply need both you and Miss Adele to cooperate with the investigation. I know you already answered some questions that day, but recounting your events to these two will help with a better idea of what went on. And you said there were 2 students coming? The other one is, I suppose you could call her a bodyguard in the simplest terms. She's got a keen tactical eye, an analytical mind, and alongside incredible skills in combat, the two have worked with Professor Ozpin once before and encountered the White Fang on several occasions prior to entering Shade Academy. Their experience is why they were asking to come here. I see. Well, I'll help however I can. Thank you. Your cooperation is appreciated. I'll summon you when they arrive. Until then, I hope you enjoyed the rest of your evening. Now, if you'll excuse me. Whoa. I knew there was a crime spree going on at the dust stores. If they're pulling in students from other kingdoms to investigate, what I don't understand is why from Vacuo? Why them specifically? Because Mad Max. You heard what Miss Goodwitch said. One of them had a unique semblance, and both had encountered the White Fang before. I'm not convinced. It was a robbery. It's unusual for them to be so many, yes, but to involve students from a foreign kingdom. That is kind of odd, but maybe we'll learn more when they arrive. It doesn't do us any good to try to figure it out tonight at any rate. But you're right. Without more information, we don't really have much to think about. Let's finish our review and go to bed, and it's getting late. Cobalt, I'm feeling cold. Can you come keep me warm for a little bit? Ow! No! None of that! Shame on you! March 17th, Sunday, day 42. Last night was rough. I wasn't able to sleep well after the talk with Professor Goodwitch. Something about the idea that these foreign exchange students were being brought in still bothers me. Lavek's words sat in my brain all night, keeping me awake. She was right. It was unusual for a headmaster to request support of students from another kingdom. Even if what Miss Goodwitch said was true, what makes these two so special? That's why I'm here. Ruby suggested that the team leaders from our little circle of friends get together and brainstorm. And with most of the teammates off doing other things, it seemed like the perfect chance to get their opinions about this. So yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. Wow. Yeah, no wonder you're confused. Gotta admit, Lilac's right. It's kind of highly unusual for headmasters to swap students like this. And the fact that it's only two of them coming and not the whole team. Yeah, what gives? Where are the other two? I don't know. They didn't say. I remember just at the desk shop robbery I found myself in, Professor Osmond and Professor Goodwitch both pulled me in and talked to me about it. Looking back, though, it felt more like an interview than an interrogation. Well, if you hadn't done what you did, you wouldn't be at Beacon now. Yeah, no kidding. Seems like a lifetime ago. All right. So when did the hotshots show up? I don't know that. Either I was just told that and that I was just either. I was just told that Coco and I would be called upon Professor Austin's office when it was time. I can't say I'm not curious. You have to tell us the scoop when you get back. Yeah, I want to know everything. Speaking of Professor Goodwitch. Oh my god. Ark, you damn bastard! Whoa, are those the students from Vacuo? They are, among other things. That blonde girl looks like she could bench me in full armor, no sweat. Among other things. That rabbit faunus and glasses look like very well dressed. Isn't Vacuo supposed to be hot? The suit doesn't seem very cool to me. I thought she looked cool. That's not what I meant. Maybe she's not used to Veil? Man, I don't envy you. I'd be a normal nervous wreck trying to talk to them. Thanks for the vote of confidence. What do you think, Nina? They're just now noticing? Nina? She was here a second ago. Maybe she got a text message and she had to go? Without saying goodbye to any of us? I don't know. She just left so quickly. Perhaps we should go to the cafeteria. It's almost lunchtime. That sounds like a good idea. But you guys can go on without me. I've got a thing that came up. That was weird. Is John alright? He's been doing that a lot lately. That and going to hang out with Cardin. The same Cardin that pushed him into a locker and sent him flying into Vale. I really don't know. Maybe we can figure that out over lunch. Sounds good. Lead the way. And then he rode up on a skateboard, being pulled by our dog. Oh, good lord. Wait, really? Yes. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen Dad do. I would have taken a picture, but Y ended up chasing after a cat. Ouch. Hold that thought. I just got a text from Professor Goodwitch. I'm being called upon up to the headmaster's office. What, so soon? I mean, the student from Vacuo did arrive 10 minutes ago. They obviously must want to get started as soon as possible. But hey, I'll let you know how it goes as soon as I can. Yeah? Please do. Like I said, I want to know everything. And if you're feeling nervous, just say someone accidentally hit all the buttons on the elevator on the way up there. Oddly specific. I don't think I'm feeling that nervous, Ruby. See you later, and try to find out where Mina disappeared to, yeah? I'll try. Hey, Denim Boy. I thought you'd be called up after I was. Hey, Coco. What's up? Oh, not much. I'm kind of interested in seeing what this was all about. Miss Adele, Mr. Blue, thank you for joining us. I'm sorry to cut into your weekend activities, but it means a lot that you are here. Ark, I have to know, how have you not been sued by Minos? Allow me to introduce the students from Zakio Shade Academy. They didn't even change Jacqueline Ivory and her sister Adeline Shade Ivory. Well, at least they changed one of the characters, at least. Sisters, they look nothing alike, but then again, they might be adopted or have a similar situation to Ruby and Yang or heck, Orium. A pleasure. I'm grateful for your timely arrival. Well met, both of you. Likewise. So what can we do to help? I'm not sure we can identify anyone because they were wearing masks. You leave that to us. We just need you there. TikTok has a knack for finding things others can't. We just require your presence. Okay, I'm confused. Basically, my semblance allows me to reconstruct a crime scene by placing people in it using their aura as markers. It's kind of like echoes of what they did in that location. But the older the scene, the harder it is to focus, unless someone that was there is with me at the time. So in short, I can see aura ghosts that help me figure out what happened, did, and where. I just can't see what happened. But luckily for us, we already know that. Sadly, time is not on our side. The easiest time for me is to see this happen during the first few days after the event. Enough time has passed now, though, that it might have actually prove difficult to see anything, and I'm hoping you there fixes that. But it's still worth a shot, even knowing their approximate height and build through a faded aura echo is enough to help us go forward. I can't see details like faces anyway, unless they are wearing something noticeable. And I can't see defining features unless it's kind of hairstyle or something, like have a feature like a faunus trait. It's like a shadow, really. Oh, I see. So you want to see if we missed something because we were in the middle of a firefight. Got it in one. It might be self-explanatory, but sometimes the bad guys leave something behind, something not immediately clear or visible that might have been missed. Well, it's worth a shot. What are we waiting for? I'm glad to see you eager. Glinda, if you and the Ivories. This is still so weird. Have anything to report, please do so. I promise we'll be punctual. Now to the crime scene! Shit, shit, shit. Trap, fuck, damn it. Why did they have to show up? I really hope they didn't see me. They could blow this whole thing. Alright, I need to just do it. I'm not looking forward to this. Who is this? How'd you get this number? Commodore. It's Mina. Mina, what the devil are you doing? This is a secure line. You're only supposed to make this call in the case of an emergency. No shit! Why do you think I'm calling you outside the normal check-in time? I've got a situation. Situation? What kind of situation? Has Oz been caught on? No, but he's about to. Commodore, were you aware that Jacqueline Artis Ivory and Adeline Scheid were coming to Beacon? Commodore? I'm thinking. I don't know why they're here, but they're going to blow my cover. What am I supposed to do? Damn it, Jack. Should I extract? No. Sit tight. I'll be having a conversation with the general in a few moments. That was, I suppose, fortuitous timing after all. I'll contact you in about half an hour. Until then, stay out of sight. What, is she supposed to be neon? Okay. I'm heading back to my dorm then. It'll be safer then. They shouldn't have any reason to head to this. You're an idiot. Understood. If I don't hear back from you in an hour, stay put until you do. We might need to make a few calls. Got it? We'll figure something out, even if it means telling Osmond directly about why you're there. I prefer to keep that under wraps, but it should come from us, not from Jack or Adeline. I'll contact you ASAP. Flynn out. Oh yeah, you're definitely Neon. Wait, no, that's not Flynn. Well, at least I'm used to evading watchful eyes. Time to retreat. That was not how I saw my Sunday going. Oh, here we are again. The scene hasn't been touched since the investigators looked it over. I'm not sure what else could be found here, but I guess that's why they called in these two in. Okay, Miss Adele, Mr. Blue, please take your positions where you were when you stumbled upon this robbery. Okay. Okay, now what? Stay there, don't move or do anything. Jackie, I need your eyes for finer details. Of course. Her eyes change colors. Really? Why'd she have to take her glasses off? Tick tock. Adeline has to sort of refocus her eyes to look at things with her semblance. If she uses her glasses, she strains her eyes. Sort of like if you were to put the glasses on glasses when you don't need them, after a while you get a headache. Mm. Glad to see that in any continuity, those two hate each other. What's she doing? I'm sorry, leaving an imprint of my aura on objects. Basically, it's like sending a sonar burst into something. Something times things I can see will pop up that way, but it drains my aura a bit, so I can only do it a few times. Speaking of that, what do you see? I see two individuals, but they're gray and blurry. I don't think they have their aura unlocked, so I can't get anything beyond height and genetic build, but there's a third. Can either of you remember anything about the three you saw? Well, we didn't get a look at either of them, but two of them similar to looked too similar to pick out of a lineup. We couldn't even tell you what faunus they were. Third guy was kind of short. I think he was a bug faunus. He had two long antennae on his head, but I think one of them broke off or something. It was like half the length of the other. That seems to match up with what I've seeing. Hmm. Someone called in a locker here. Yes, that was me. I needed my weapon. That makes sense. And, and then there was the firefights. See, your sister hasn't lost her flair for the dramatic. I pray she never does. Excuse me, Miss Ivory? Call me Jacqueline. Titles make my skin crawl. What is it? Can she really figure out something in the veiled detectives might have missed? Under normal circumstances, perhaps, but her semblance is more useful when an event happened recently. As time passed, it becomes harder for her to see things. At best, we are just helping determine if everything played out like you all said it did, to avoid missing anything. Hey, Jackie, am I losing it, or is this bullet hole in the window coming from the inside? Well, we all know you're crazy, at least in another continuity. Indeed it is, and it's a very large caliber round. Sniper, or a large handgun. I'm betting hand cannon. A sniper would have probably killed its target. Who was the target? The trajectory is accurate and my hunch is right. You, Mr. Blue. Me? I can see another figure in the building exiting the emergency exit and getting into the air. My guess is it's the getaway driver. Adeline and I will take a look inside. Miss Goodwitch, since I know the Vale PD would prefer us to be chaperoned, would you mind accompanying us? Of course, Mr. Blue, Miss Artdale. This will just take a moment. Shock from near death aside, those two are good. No kidding. Both are extremely cute and incredibly smart. Makes me wonder, though. About what? Well, how Professor Ozpin knows them, for one. And if they are second years at Shade, what are they doing here? And where's the rest of their team? Yeah, those are good points. Just peculiar. I'm curious, but I suppose it's not really our place to pry. You should have told us. An upfront and direct line of communication is necessary to ascertain all facts. Why was this excluded? Frankly, we had told Theodore that this could be a possibility, but we had no way of knowing that he would be here or was in any way connected to this robbery. What happened? Did you find something? Yes, we found out why nobody could reach the shop owner. He's dead? The shop owner was assassinated and stuffed into the vault. Adeline managed to figure out the code and open it. Why does that sound familiar? But that doesn't bloody excuse the lack of information of who killed him. Even if you didn't know he was connected, if you didn't know he was connected, you should have informed us he was in Vale to begin with. I'm completely lost. You have my sincere apologies, both of you. Of you. It was wrong to assume that you would have been told, but perhaps this conversation is best conducted back at Beacon. I concur. I have a number of questions for Ozpin on this matter. I should have realized this would have been their reaction. Professor, what's going on? Nothing that involves the two. Glinda, they just have revealed that they were trying to kill us. I think it does involve us. Your cooperation is appreciated, but this portion is beyond your either of you. Your parts here are completed. I suggest you return to Beacon and carry on. I have a meeting to attend, apparently. If you'll excuse me. Did you see the look on her face? Guilt? Regret? Either way, something's up. Should we take a look inside? No, we might contaminate the crime scene. I don't know enough about being careful, and while I'm wearing gloves, you aren't, and it's best we just do what Miss Goodwitch said and leave. And then we came back. Coco and I haven't seen Miss Goodwitch or the two Shade students since. Oh wow, I didn't think vacuo spawned such analytically minded individuals. Blaze. Oof! You almost died! And before I know it, she's wrapping her arms around me and holding me in a very close. Blaze, it's okay, I'm okay. Only through sheer dumb luck. One bad mood and bloom, no more cobalt. There was no boom though, so cobalt's still there. You're right, but It's still terrifying. Perhaps we should talk about something less terrifying then. Agreed. I'm certainly curious about these two. Vacuo and its people have a reputation. The two you described sound nothing like what I've heard about, and the rabbit faunus in particular, a police detective, not a huntress. Interesting. Perhaps they stick around long enough to question them. They'll stick around long enough. You make it sound like that's a bad thing. No, not bad, just peculiar. No, that's enough. Is that them? Surprisingly, yes. But Jackie, this could mean I said enough. I don't want to talk about this right now. Well, if not now, then when? We finally have a lead after all this time. He could have survived, but it does mean. But if it means he let us think he was dead for 3 bloody years, I don't care why. All I care about is the fact that I don't want to find him. Did, did she punch a hole in the wall? That's not going to make Professor Goodwitch happy. I think I'm more curious about the implications of what she said. Hi? Mr. Blue. Is everything okay? You two look like you were about to get into it. We're fine. My sister and I were discussing an issue. We got a little heated, and it's not important. Like hell there isn't! Does it have to do with the robbers Coco and Cobalt stopped? Yes and no. And you are his team? Alright. This is my team. This is my partner and girlfriend Blaze and our teammates Lilac and Teal. Well met. I'm Jacqueline Ortiz Ivory, but you can call me Jack. Adeline Shade Ivory. A pleasure. To be more precise, to answer your question, Mr. Blue, Cobalt, is no longer required for the investigation, but we discovered something that Professor Osmond apparently was aware of and failed to mention. He actually wasn't wanting us to investigate the death shop robbery. That was just a convenient excuse to get us here. He wants us to look into something else. Something else? Like what? Beside the death of the shop owner? That was probably should remain confidential. I'm sorry, but we're actually working on this investigation. We can't share any further details with others. Speaking of that, we should probably check in with the police once Miss Goodwitch gets our room in order. Then I suppose we'll see you in some of the classes. Indeed. Until then, Team Cobalt. Oh, and tell your blue-head faunus friend that whatever she's doing we aren't going to pry. So Mina is wasting her time. Wow, 2 new students and a murder alongside the dust robbery. What the hell is going on here? I admit, it is rather peculiar. Well, there's not a whole lot we can do right now. But if they need our help, well, I say we give it to them. Agreed. My curiosity is piqued. Although, what do you think Adeline meant by her last statement? We're not going to do anything, are we? If one of us gets the chance, we should ask Mina. Oh, we are. Maybe they know something about it. If so, it's a small world. God damn it! Dino! You can't just end it there! Well, the good news is that we've successfully completed Cobalt.